What's going on, guys? Briar Rabbit here. Today we're going to take a look at Xur's inventory as well as check out where he is. He is on Nessus. If you pour into the Watcher's Grave, you'll find him up on this tree over here. He's been here before, so you should be familiar with the location. Not very difficult to find. We're going to take a look at his inventory. He's got 4 exotics, like every week. We'll start off with the weapon of the week. It is the Fighting Lion. So the Fighting Lion is interesting because it is a grenade launcher, which is normally a power weapon, but this one is in the energy weapons slot. The main perk on it is delayed gratification. Grenade projectiles will bounce off surfaces, hold R2 to fire, and release to detonate. This should be pretty cool because you should be able to kind of bounce this, bounce the grenades off of walls and into weird locations, so you could kill somebody without them even knowing or having seen you. However, in practice, this thing kind of stinks. The blast radius, the power of this weapon, it's not really high enough to get the job done. So in PvP, it really doesn't do a whole lot of damage. In PvE, it doesn't do a whole lot of damage. It's interesting. It looks beautiful, but it's just not that good. So unless you're just trying to collect everything, or if you're waiting for a buff for the Fighting Lion, maybe it'll come along, but really this is a pass unless you're just trying to collect everything in the game. Next up for the Hunter, something that's much, much better. The Knucklehead Radar is actually one of my favorite exotics in the game for my Hunter because it gives you such an advantage in PvP. Upgraded sensor pack provides radar while aiming, right? So no matter what gun you're using, you always have your radar up, which of course is very, very useful in PvP. It can be useful in PvE as well, just it doesn't seem to stand out as much. In PvP though, if you're not using the Mida Multi-Tool, which already provides this perk, then it's very, very good, and it can be, frankly, quite a crutch because you always have that armor up. You can be aiming at where you think the enemy is going to come around, but also not get flanked because your radar is up and you can see movement on your radar. It's very, very good. It's worth checking out. Definitely purchase this one for your Hunter. Next up, the Peacekeepers for the Titan. This is actually something I haven't tried out myself yet. The main perk here is Mecha Holster. Reloads stowed submachine guns and allows you to ready them instantly. So submachine guns can be very powerful in PvP. They're very fun to use in PvE. And reloading them while they're stowed could actually be a really fun thing in both PvE and PvP. I can imagine a double submachine gun loadout where you always have a submachine gun ready to fire, and this also allows you to ready them and start firing almost instantly. So I kind of see this as it's going to be a really fun exotic to run. I don't know how useful it's going to be. It's certainly, I don't foresee this thing being an OP exotic, but definitely a fun one, and one that I'm going to buy today and mess around with over the weekend because, I really like using submachine guns, and I think this will be a lot of fun to just run like a double submachine gun build in PvE or in PvP, maybe in trials, depending on the map. That could be a lot of fun. So Peacekeepers, very cool. Don't think it's going to be an OP exotic, but probably worth picking up just for fun. Next up, we have the Wings of Sacred Dawn for the Warlock. The main perk here is Tome of Dawn. When Dawnblade is equipped, aiming weapons while in midair suspends you there for a short time. Precision hits extend the effect's duration. All right, so this is similar to a perk that was available for Warlocks in Destiny 1. It was somewhat used tricksy in PvP. You could, for instance, go through a door when you know somebody's chasing you, jump up and then just suspend yourself over that door, wait for your enemy to come through, and then fire down at them and get the kill that way, just based on pure confusion. A lot of players know about that trick, especially Destiny 1 players, so you might get away with it once or twice in a PvP match, and then you'll find that players know exactly what you're up to, and it doesn't work that much. Maybe it'll work a little bit longer than that. In PvE, I don't really find a whole lot of use for it. It seems to be that there's not a whole lot of cover up in midair, so you get fired on a lot, so you can take a lot of damage. And same in PvP. If you start using this thing in the middle of the map, just jumping up in midair and firing down at somebody, you're really kind of a sitting target while you're way up high in the air with no cover. So to me, it's never been all that useful. It's a beautiful exotic, though. It looks incredible on a Warlock. So just for that, it may be worth picking up. But for me, it's not all that useful, to be honest with you. So that's Zer's inventory. Definitely pick up the Knucklehead radar. I'm going to pick up the Peacekeepers just for fun. The Fighting Lion, I mean, it's just not that good, unfortunately. Maybe it'll get buffed, but if they buff it too much, you know, it's going to be a real problem, because being able to fire grenades basically around corners by bouncing them off of walls and get kills in PvP is going to really infuriate people. So kind of no matter what, I don't see that they can really make this thing all that powerful. It's a little bit of a wasted exotic. It's so cool looking. It's unfortunate that I don't see a way that they can really make this thing all that good. But we'll see. You know, maybe some players will find a really cool way of using it. We'll have to wait and see. That's going to do it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Hit that like button if you liked the video. Hit subscribe if you're new to the channel. And I'll see you guys next time.